Welcome to this explainer. Right now, the modern marketing landscape, it feels like this incredibly chaotic buffet. There are literally 50 different things you could try on any given day, from launching a new social channel to buying ads on some brand new app. But today, we're zeroing in on the absolute top marketing ideas. We're focusing on doing fewer things, but doing them way, way better. So welcome to the Modern Marketing Playbook, from noise to nuance. I am so excited to guide you through this, distilling years of data and campaigns into a seriously streamlined strategy. Let's get right into it. Here's our roadmap to cut through all that noise. We're covering 1. Strategy before tactics. 2. Core digital channels. 3. Content and interactive experiences. 4. Influencer mastery. 5. Engineering viral campaigns. And 6. Omnichannel and measuring success. Basically, a highly actionable playbook designed to actually drive revenue.
Kicking things off with Section 1, Strategy Before Tactics, Building the Foundation. Because jumping straight into shiny new tools without a plan, well, that's exactly like building a house without a foundation. It might look okay for a hot minute, but it's going to collapse under pressure.
Notice the stark contrast on this slide. Strategy literally has to come before the specific actions or platforms you pick. I see so many businesses jump straight to the tactics. They think, oh, I heard podcasting is the hot new thing, or I gotta be posting on TikTok 3 times a day. But honestly, tactics without a strategy are practically useless. Your strategy is simply who you serve and what you solve. It's your core message. The tactics are just the levers you pull to communicate that message. You gotta build a strategy first.
We're also seeing a massive shift right now away from traditional, kind of stingy push marketing towards modern pull marketing. Push marketing is the old school way, hoarding all your value behind a paywall and just shouting, hey, buy my stuff. Pull marketing is completely different. It's about creating content that is so undeniably valuable it naturally attracts customers to your brand. You're saying, come here, let me help you solve this problem. When you give that upfront value, customers will actively seek you out.
Now, if you're operating on a shoestring budget or just feeling totally overwhelmed by tactical options, use this brilliant 3-3-3 rule to filter out the junk. When every idea sounds like a winner, focus strictly on what actually matters. 3 core messages about what you do, 3 audience segments worth winning, and 3 channels where those segments actually spend their attention. Anything outside of those 9 slots, it's just a distraction. Literally pin this rule to your desk and measure everything against it.
Moving on to Section 2, Core digital channels, the revenue engine. Knowing exactly where to deploy that focus is absolutely crucial, so let's explore the channels doing the heavy lifting.
£35. That's not a typo. That is the staggering return on investment for every single pound spent on email marketing in the UK. But there is a catch, and it's a big one. You only get this kind of return if you're using proper audience segmentation. A generic newsletter blasted to your entire list, yeah, that's going to underperform forever. But setting up behavior-triggered flows, think welcome emails, abandoned carts, win-back sequences, that quietly adds 15 to 20% to your bottom line while you sleep.
These are your reliable, totally unglamorous revenue drivers. Email marketing, as we just saw. Then you have local SEO and optimizing your Google business profile, which honestly often outperforms paid channels for local intent because, as you know, reviews are a massive ranking factor. And finally, retargeting. Think about it. Most first-time visitors to your site don't buy anything. A simple retargeting setup brings those warm leads right back and typically lifts conversion rates by 20 to 30%, so it pays for itself almost instantly.
All right, on to Section 3. Content and interactive experiences, engaging the audience. Let's see how our core channels plug into the engagement layer to really elevate the brand through modern content. The way we consume media is drastically shifting, and our playbook has to adapt.
Welcome to the era of zero-click content. Modern consumers want instant answers. They expect your content to deliver the full story, the entertainment, or the solution right there at a glance on their social feeds without demanding they click a link and leave the app. If you try to force them off the platform just to get value, you're going to lose them. Deliver your expertise right there, directly in the feed.
And as we look ahead to 2026, making your content SEO-proof just isn't enough anymore. Enter GEO, or Generative Engine Optimization. People are searching using AI chatbots and generative engines now. We have to create deep, expertise-driven content that feeds directly into these AI systems. That way, when a user asks a chatbot a question, your brand is the trusted source it pulls from. It's a total game changer.
Plus, get this. Interactive marketing generates 52.6% more engagement than static content. Passive audiences are checking out, they really are. By introducing interactive elements, user-generated content campaigns, gamified quizzes, VR experiences, or honestly even just interactive infographics, you break down the barrier between you and your consumer. You turn a passive scroller into an active, participating member of your brand's story. Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, Influencer Mastery, Building Authentic Trust. This isn't just about paying some celebrity to hold your product. It's a $33 billion industry where authentic partnerships vastly outperform traditional ads. Let's look at the numbers.
Brands are seeing an average return of $5.78 for every single dollar spent on influencer campaigns. Why does this work so much better than a banner ad? Well, people scroll right past ads, but they do not scroll past someone they trust and follow. A creator's emotional connection with their audience makes their recommendation feel like a suggestion from a friend, and that level of credibility, it's incredibly cost-effective.
Now, before you blow your entire budget on a massive celebrity, take a look at this matrix of influencer tiers. The biggest mistake brands make is thinking bigger is always better. Actually, partnering with a high volume of highly authentic micro-influencers, we're talking that 10K to 100K range, will often generate far better engagement and sales than one insanely expensive mega-influencer. I mean, Daniel Wellington built a $200 million valuation almost entirely by gifting watches to thousands of micro-influencers. Volume and authenticity totally win here.
Let's hit Section 5, Engineering Viral Campaigns, the Viral Spark. This is the really fun part of this explainer, deconstructing exactly how to engineer virality. And let me be super clear, virality is not luck, and you absolutely don't need a Hollywood budget to pull it off. It is engineered.
Take this legendary quote from Dollar Shave Club. With a ridiculously scrappy video that cost just $4,500, they drove 12,000 new subscribers in 48 hours. Why? Because the founder, Michael Dubin, used disruptive humor, lo-fi production, and a brutally simple value proposition to just completely attack the overpriced razor industry. It proves that founder-led authenticity is a massive, massive marketing weapon.
When we actually break down the anatomy of virality, we see 4 key elements pop up again and again. First, emotion, like the jaw-dropping awe of Red Bull's Stratos space jump. Second, participation. Gymshark didn't just sell clothes, they asked millions to join a 66-day fitness challenge, sparking a huge community movement. Third, gamification. KFC literally handed the decision for their new menu item over to Twitter users. And finally, simplicity and authenticity. Viral marketing taps into raw human emotion and invites the audience to co-create the moment with you.
Bringing it all home with Section 6, Omni-Channel and Measuring Success, the unifier. Because taking all of these amazing top marketing ideas and actually making them work requires an omni-channel strategy and hard measurement. If we aren't measuring, we're basically just guessing.
You really have to embrace an omni-channel strategy. And this isn't just about showing up on multiple platforms. It's about unifying your data. You must map the full customer journey so that they experience one cohesive, seamless narrative. Whether they're searching for you on Google, reading an email, tapping around on an app, or walking into a physical store, the messaging and the timing have to be perfectly aligned.
But that brings us to the absolute ultimate question every business owner faces. How do you measure if any of this is actually working? How do you make sure you aren't just throwing your hard-earned budget into some digital black hole?
You do it by focusing strictly on the 3 metrics that actually matter. Seriously, stop tracking vanity metrics like simple reach or impressions. You need to know your cost per qualified lead. Like, what does an actual sales conversation cost you? You need to know your conversion rate from lead to customer. And you absolutely must know your customer lifetime value over 12 to 24 months. If you track these 3 hard numbers, you'll know exactly if a campaign is genuinely printing money or just making a bunch of noise.
And please, before you spend another dime on paid traffic, heed this warning. The biggest mistake that wastes marketing budget is a leaky bucket. If you send brilliant, highly targeted paid traffic to a slow, generic homepage that lacks a clear conversion path, you might as well set your money on fire. Remember, marketing only amplifies what your website already does. So fix your landing experience first. Make sure it loads fast and has one painfully obvious next action.
I want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative thought. Take a hard look at your strategy today and ask yourself, are you simply reporting marketing activity? Just tallying up clicks and likes? Or are you architecting real revenue? Because the next great campaign, the one that truly transforms your business, is waiting to be built by cutting out the noise and focusing purely on the top marketing ideas that matter.
Use this playbook, get out there, and go architect your success.